We are going to be doing a tier list for you guys today, and so we're going to be tiering the whole squad that is going to be here next season as of now. And this isn't what we want to happen, this is what we think is going to happen. So it's going on loan, definitely leaving, likely leaving,
50-50.
50-50, likely staying, and definitely staying. So the first player we're going to look at is Ben Davis. I think Ben Davis could go. I mean, I think he's likely leaving, to be honest. It could very well be 50-50.
Just sign the deal. There's a few talk, isn't it, with Wrexham. There was obviously a bit of talk of AC Milan. I don't know what's going on with that anymore.
I mean, he didn't sign a contract. The club triggered an extension, in my opinion, to get some money for him.
But then he would have left if we didn't trigger that extension.
Yeah.
So he would have definitely left if that happened.
But we wouldn't have been able to get the money in.
So you think he's likely leaving?
I think so, yeah.
All right. I mean, I've got a feeling he's likely staying, but...
Nah, it's either 50-50 or likely leaving. I don't think it's likely staying.
Yeah,
it could very well be 50-50. And as well, when you're crunching the numbers as well, like, he's got to be one of the biggest fall guys there.
I would say so, yeah, but yeah. It's a bit more if we can't get the money we want for him. Let's just hope we can.
What is the money we want for him, though? Like, he's got 1 year left in his deal. Surely you just take anything that you can get.
What, a couple million, maybe 5 million?
Yeah, like, even if you get a bid of like 2-3 million, that's 2-3 million that is just extra money for a player that's barely going to play next season.
All right, likely leaving then, but I don't think he's definitely leaving, obviously.
Next up is Radu. I think he is going to be likely staying.
Yeah, you wouldn't put him indefinitely staying?
Yeah,
we did hear about maybe some talks with AC Milan, didn't we? Potentially with his agent.
Yeah, I would say likely staying.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't put my whole house on it.
Yeah,
but I think he's probably staying.
All right, I'll put likely staying. But I think it's one of those where if we do get like a really good bid, maybe I think we would be open to it.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to keep him, to be honest, because I think he's a really good defender, and it didn't work out in an Ange system because that's just not the right fit for him. But I think under Frank, Frank can do really well with him. Yeah. So I want to see him stay.
Yeah, but I think I agree with you. I don't think it's guaranteed he's staying, but I think it's more off. It's better than 50-50 that he stays, I think, yeah.
Next one is Pape. I think that's definitely
staying. I think Frank will really like him, and yeah, for sure. I can't see him going anywhere.
Jed Spence.
Definitely staying. You can't see him leaving.
I would say definitely staying, but with his like form at the tail end of last season, after being second fiddle to a doggy and a doggy coming back in, his form did fall off a cliff at the back end of last season. Is that?
If we sell him, we're going to get another fullback, another 2 fullbacks, maybe even.
I think in our minds he's definitely staying, but do you not reckon like? Now as a new manager, it's probably a different case. But if Ange was still here, do you not think Jed would be like, well, how am I ever going to be a starting player here?
But he's not here.
Yeah,
well,
I know.
I still think he would have stayed, to be honest. I still think he would have stayed. Especially with Champions League football coming in. Although, I don't want to put any besmirches on Spence's character, but Frank does have a no dickheads policy. Where does Spence fall into that? Do we think he falls into that?
Dickhead.
We don't think he's a dickhead.
Nah.
All right, so we'll say definitely stay. I think he's definitely staying. I can't see a world where he leaves.
What if a bid comes in for him and then he's like, look, I'm going to get guaranteed first-team football there?
Is it a Champions League club? How much are they going to bid for? How much do you think? We bought him, for 15? So what, we demand 35 probably right now?
Something like that, yeah. Let's say a bid of 35 million comes in from a club. Do you not think Spence will look at that? And let's say they really want him, they're going to make him their starting right or left, whatever it may be. Do you not think Spence will look at that and being like, look, I've got Porro and a doggy here. Maybe I'll see some minutes, but I'm not going to be first choice week in, week out.
I think he's belief in himself. He's got a new manager. He's got Champions League football. There's a lot of games to go around. It's not going to be like last season where for the first half of the season he's not going to play at all. It's not going to be that situation next season. He can play left or right back, so we know he's got he's in London. He's at a big club. Signed a new contract not long ago. I think he's definitely staying. I just can't see a team coming in for 35 million for him and him wanting to leave unless it's like a big club. I just don't see that happening.
We'll put him in definitely staying. Jed Spence. Next up is Mickey van der Ven.
Give him a new contract, man.
Definite stay.
Has he had a new contract since he's come here?
Don't think so.
He should get one, shouldn't he?
He's on like 50 grand a week.
Yeah, he should get one.
Mad. Destiny Adogi as well, definite. He's definitely staying for sure.
The only thing is there were rumours about City, and if they're serious about him, hopefully he doesn't have his head turned. But I would say definitely staying.
Yeah.
I don't think we entertain a bid from them, to be honest.
No. Is that Pedro Porro?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely staying.
Definitely staying. Porro.
Madison as well.
Definitely staying.
Definitely staying.
Could be new captain. Could be the new captain.
Could be. Next up is Archie Gray. So I would say
he's definitely staying. From what
I mean, there is a potential for loan.
There is, but I think Frank's going to not want to send him on loan. I get the feeling Frank's going to want to keep him around. I think maybe if Ange was still here, maybe he might have. There's a chance because, well, he just didn't really do great last season. But I think new kind of eyes on the situation. I think Frank is... Look, unless in pre-season he decides, okay, he's really not ready. I think Frank obviously had a big fan of him at Leeds. And we know how great he was in pre-season last season. So I reckon he'll have another good pre-season. And then Frank will be like, yeah, I want to keep you around. I think there's a... Or maybe he's likely staying...
Yeah, let's put him in likely. Because I think there is a possibility that Frank
can't rule it out. Can't rule it out.
Next up is Big Vic. There have been rumours of him recently. Apparently an AC Milan move. We have spoken about the potential fits of a goalkeeper that... or the profiles of goalkeepers that Frank likes, and Vicario isn't that kind of profile. I would probably say he definitely stays.
I would say likely.
Yes.
Although
Can you see him selling him this summer? I think if we are going to sell him, it's probably the following summer.
Yeah, I think that's probably more likely, to be honest. We sell in the following summer. But then I do think if Milan are serious about him, and obviously if they sell Maignan and they come in with an actual serious bid of 40 million, I do think we seriously consider it. But then, would you, let's say next season we go into the season with Kinski, Austin and Keeley. Is that something you'd be happy with? Do you think we can, or do we have to have experience in that position? Because we're losing our experience.
It's a massive
keeper.
risk.
It's a big risk. But then, we always want, we're always saying we want Keeley to give him a chance, and that's probably what it looks like.
What, being third choice keeper? Or will he be second
probably
choice
second
keeper?
or battling out Austin.
Be our cup keeper. I think Keeley still needs another loan, to be honest. I think he needs to keep moving up the levels. So I think Keeley will be given another loan. So that probably suggests that Vicario will stay. And if he is going to leave, it will probably be the following summer. Another season under the belt, probably in the Championship for Keeley. And that makes it a more... and also more development into Kinski as well. So I actually think Vic is definitely going to stay.
Do you think if Vic does get sold, we have to sign another keeper then? Or we have to sign another number one? Or could we rely on Kinski?
I think we'll probably have to sign someone. That's why I don't think he goes. I think he stays for sure.
Definitely staying then.
Next up is Brennan. He's definitely staying.
Yeah, definitely staying. 18 goals last season. Is that Dom or Romero?
That's Dom.
Definitely staying.
Yeah, he's definitely staying.
Can't see him leaving.
Next up is Rodrigo Bentancur. Now, this is an interesting one because there's all been rumours about the contract. He hasn't signed the contract yet. There's been no news of it. There's been news about him, on the verge of signing it, but still, it's just very quiet on that matter.
I think as long as that contract isn't signed, I think it's 50-50.
I agree.
Until when he signs it, it becomes a definite.
Yeah.
But right now, it's 50-50 whether he stays.
Totally agree.
I think it's undecided, yeah.
Yeah, he's 50-50.
Sammy? 50-50.
Kinski, he's definitely staying.
Yeah, definitely staying. He ain't going anywhere.
Son. I think Son...
Is it 50-50 or...
I think it's 50-50.
Or was it likely leaving?
I mean, my gut tells me he's leaving, but I still think on the balance of everything, whether we get the right bid, whether the right club comes in, and a talk with Frank, I mean, there's so many different variables that could potentially go into this. So I still think at this moment in time, it's still 50-50.
All right, we'll go 50-50.
Brandon Austin, he's our only club trained player.
Literally, if we lose him, our squad's down to 21.
Yes, he's definitely staying.
He has to stay, yeah.
Dane Scarlett, Justin Cochran's boy.
He is. So, could he be one of the surprises?
Could he be one of the club-trained players, or is he still going to be a B-lister?
Well, he's 21, so I think he would be
20,
club-trained. Oh, is he 20?
I think he's 20, yeah.
Will he be club-trained, or is he a B-list? I don't know.
I think he might still be a B-list.
I think I would still put my money on him going on loan again, but Cochrane, he does know him. Maybe there's a chance.
But is knowing him enough to say that he's going to stay?
No, probably not. I think a loan deal.
Yeah.
I think going on loan.
Decky, I think Decky definitely stays, particularly with the injury. Like, no club can justify signing him right now. Next up is Cuti Romero.
Likely leaving, I'll put him.
Yeah. I don't think he's definite, but I think it's leading towards it, isn't it?
Likely leaving. I think he's more leaving than staying right now in my book.
Wilson Odebear, I think he definitely stays. We literally just signed him.
Yeah, he's definitely staying.
Bissouma.
I think Bissouma's on definitely leaving.
Definitely.
But only because, I'll tell you why.
1 year left.
1 year left, and are we going to offer him a new deal?
No.
So from that case, he has to leave. Even if Frank likes him, unless we offer him a new deal, Frank can't turn around and say, let's keep him for a year. And he's going to, so unless the thought is we're going to offer him a new deal, which there's no talk of, he has to leave. So I think he's definitely leaving.
All right, well, Bissouma's going and definitely leaving. Kevin Danso is going to be indefinitely staying.
Definitely, so we just signed him, literally.
Yeah. Bergvall. There should be a tier for him. Above definitely staying.
Give him a new contract, lifetime contract.
Tell definitely staying. Mikey Moore. Oh, Mikey Moore. I got a feeling Mikey's going to go out on loan this year.
You reckon? He's a loner.
Yeah. There's been reports about him going to...
I came out wrong.
There's reports of him going to West Brom or Birmingham. Might be lazy reporting, but I think there might be something to it.
Yeah, loan to West Brom. Yeah. I actually agree. I think a loan deal could do him good.
Richarlison,
I would say likely leaving.
Yeah, with these Callum Wendo links, there's no chance we bring in another striker and Richarlison stays.
Yeah, but there's also reports that Frank likes him, and he's got 2 years left.
Yeah.
So I think it's not a definite, but it's a likely leaving, I would say.
Agreed. Will Lancashire, I think another loan for him.
Yeah, another loan.
Brian Hill.
Definitely. Well, I would say definitely
He's
leaving.
injured, though.
But it's definitely we want to get rid of him, put it that way.
Definitely won't be in the squad. That's what it is.
So I think definitely leaving. Only because, like, he's not going to be involved. He's like, yes, he might not physically leave, but he's leaving the, Tottenham. You know what I mean?
We won't see him next season.
Yeah, we won't see
him.
Yeah.
Yan Min Hyuk, I think another loan for him.
Another loan, I think. Yeah, I agree.
Who's the next one?
Is that Manor? I would say
I think likely leaving.
Not definite. I would say he's closer to definitely leaving than 50-50. Yeah. But I would say likely leaving.
Yeah, he's just not a definite.
He's just not definite.
Ashley Phillips. See, Ashley Phillips is such a peculiar one because he's had so many years in the Championship now. He's proved his worth at that level. So what do you do with him? There's space in the squad for him, first and foremost. He's not a club-trained player.
Is it a Prem loan, maybe? If we can
I don't even know if he can go on the B list because I don't think he's been at Spurs for long enough.
Yeah. So he'd have to be part of the squad.
Unless you keep him around and don't put him in the European squad and give him minutes in the Cups and the Premier League.
Or do you give him a Prem loan?
If a Prem team
wants it. I think the idea would probably be loan. I think that's probably the idea right now.
I just don't want to send him back to the Championship because I don't think he's got anything more to prove at that level.
Unless maybe a higher end team.
Because he's gone to Stoke, he's gone to Plymouth, he's had minutes at Blackburn, he's had rave reviews at all of them. Like, what more does he need to do in the Championship?
Yeah. 3 years. But he's still, 19? Or is he 20 yet?
Yeah, I think he's around 20.
Yeah, Prem loan, I think, if
he's 19, yeah. His birthday's next week.
Next week?
He's going to be 20 next week.
Right. I hope maybe a lower down Prem loan. But I still think it's a loan. Yeah, I do still think it's a loan for him.
This next one's Alejo.
Definitely leaving, I would say.
Yeah, I would say so.
Definitely leaving.
Alfie Devine, I think another loan for him.
Yeah, another loan. Maybe somewhere in England again.
George Abbott, another loan for him.
Another loan.
Keeley, another loan for him. Dorrington, probably another loan for him.
Loan.
And Jamie Donnelly. I think he's going to want to look at John Donnelly as well as Devine in pre-season, but I think it will ultimately end up being another loan for him.
Okay, another loan. So not a lot of loan players.
Yeah. So in terms of the likely leaving and definitely leaving, we've got...
Well, in terms of likely staying and definitely staying, how many players are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 we have down as likely staying or staying. So if they all stay, that leaves us with wiggle room for 3 signings, right? Or 4 signings.
18.
18. We've got 18 players there.
Yeah, we can 4 signings.
So 4 signings if that happens. And that means everyone else who's 50-50 or like leaving is out. So that would be a terrible situation. But that would mean we probably need, looking at that or leaving, we would need a left winger to replace Son, probably need 2 centre mids to replace in Basuma and Bentancur. And we're also letting go of Romero, Davis, and Romero, Davis, and Richarlison.
Yeah.
So you definitely need a centre back, but then you're not replacing the striker. You're only getting 1 winger, so it doesn't leave us a lot of wiggle room.
Well, you're looking at the centre back situation without Romero is Van der Ven, Danso, Dragusin.
Yeah.
Is there one more in there?
Well, we didn't put Vuskovic. We didn't say about him,
Vuskovic
but we didn't put him there. He could be there, or he could be another loan deal as well.
Yeah, I do think Vuskovic is going to have another loan, to be honest.
So there's only 3. With Romero and Davis both going, you have to sign another. Unless you're keeping Phillips around, you have to sign another centre back.
Yeah.
Even if you are Danso, Dragusin, and Van der Ven. I mean, and Danso, Dragusin, Van der Ven, and Phillips. I mean, is that really what you want to go to the season with?
No.
So you need at least one centre back. If Son's leaving, and Richarlison's leaving,
that's 2 players you need to bring in. That's 3.
And that's 3, and then you're losing Bentancur and Basuma. So unless we're strictly saying Gray's a midfielder who we're relying on, and maybe only sign 1 midfielder, and have him and Gray as that, you kind of have to sign 2, unless there's only one experienced one.
Space for all that.
No, you have to sell another player if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Unless we say Gray's a midfielder now.
Unless Gray does go on loan.
Unless Gray does go on loan. Either Gray's, you rely on him.
You ain't signing Gray for 40 million to send him out on loan, though. That's the thing.
No, I think he's going to want to use him.
Yeah.
So maybe he uses him, and then you sign like a Paulinho, let's say, and then you have Bergvall and Sarr for the other number 8. You've got Maddison and Decky as the 10s, and you just go forward with that.
Yeah. Look, I don't envy the decision makers at this club because it's very, very hard for squad building next season. And I think this just shows you it so clearly.
And this also entails we're losing how many players we have to sell? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 sales. A lot of selling.
Yeah. God. I just don't understand how we're going to do this summer.
And let's say the 50-50s are 50-50 in our favour and they both stay. So we have Bentancur and Son staying. That means the squad is 20. So we have 2 signings if those fall. But that means we maybe don't have to sign a we don't necessarily have to sign a left winger. Maybe that change. If those, that means it's definitely a centre back and definitely a midfielder, I guess. I mean, but then we're not signing another winger or a striker, and we're selling Richarlison, and we definitely have to sign a centre back. So it can't be a midfielder. I don't know. It's a mess.
It's an absolute mess. We need bloody club trained players, man. And in a few years, some of these players can be club trained, but right now they're not. Like in a few years, Bergvall will be club trained. In a few years, Archie Gray will be club trained. And it starts to look a bit better, and we can beef up the squad a bit more. But for right now, for next season, we're in a very difficult spot. So Frank has got big job on his hands.
It's going to have to be Carl Walker-Peters, isn't it? Going to have to be. Marcus Edwards. Edwards will go. Marcus Edwards will go. Well, Edwards just signed for Burnley, so.
Yeah.
Is Tom Carroll still around?
Tom Carroll.
Is he still playing? We did this list before of all our club trained. Does Kyle Walker count? No.
Kyle Walker? No, I don't think so.
No. Maybe. We signed him a bit young. We signed him young. Was he not signed at 18?
Yeah, but didn't he have like loan spells?
He had a
and
loan
stuff?
at Villa, but it was within England. I don't know.
Apparently he's off to Everton, Kyle Walker.
Yeah, we're struggling after that.
Dennis Sirkin, Romain Mundle.
Sirkin? I don't know if he was here long enough, Sirkin. Dennis, yeah, someone said Sirkin. Yeah, it's not looking good, bruvs.
I know. But look, that is the state of the squad. Let us know how you feel like we can fit in all these new signings that we want, because we're saying we need this player, we need that player, but a lot of moving parts to this. A lot has to give before we bring in all the players that we want.
The numbers don't fit.
And also, you're talking about selling these players, and when we sell these players, they're going to have to be replaced on top of the holes that we have in the squad.
Exactly. And there's players we're talking about selling who weren't even part of the squad next season, so if they don't get sold, all of a sudden we got another problem.
Yeah.
God. And we only have 3 definitely leavings.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be, so those 4, we say likely, are going to have to be definite.
Out of those 3 definitely leaving, only one of them is considered part of the squad.
Yeah. So those 4 who we're saying likely are kind of going to have to be definites, but part of those is Romero, who we kind of want to say. Oh, God, it gives me a headache doing all this.
Yeah,
Gives me a headache.
Squad planning is absolutely atrocious at this football club, and we're going to suffer for it next season. Frank is going to have to juice everything out of these players, literally to the max.
It's part of the reason why it's so unlikely we're going to have a really busy summer unless there are maybe some of those people indefinitely or likely staying are going to be going, but I can't put my finger on who's. I mean, obviously we've got the most likely ones who are Dragoshin and Gray, but so how many? So there's only 16 indefinitely staying at the moment.
Yeah.
16 definites.
Yeah, but I would say probably it's more than likely that the likely staying are probably staying.
That's why they're unlikely.
Yeah.
God.
Very, very hard, man. But let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Next